It's an honor to be here. It takes me back in memories like 11 years ago when the first development group was started, launched in the world. Actually, it was in the Bay Area in San Mateo. So, and looks like it's continuing with the leadership of Daniel and Cynthia. So great. I'm going to touch on TrailheaDX, and then Kale, are you going next with MyTrailhead? And then certification, Matt is going to cover on certification. Great topics. And what we'll do is keep attention and keep an eye on what we're saying, because at the end, we're going to raffle off some beautiful plushies here, Astro, Cody, and a few other things. And so we're going to ask questions based on the topics. So with that, again, Kavindra Patel. I run the Trailhead Strategic Events and Programs team, and we bring learning fun through events globally. You've all seen the slide, forward-looking state. You might have to sit there and press the buttons. Again, we may touch on products, services that are upcoming in our roadmap, so please make your decisions based on currently available services. So, how many have gone to TrailheaDX? All right. How many are planning on going to TrailheaDX? All right, same amount. So TrailheaDX is the Salesforce Developer Conference. We started that in 2016, and it definitely takes an army to put that event together. There's a lot of, if you've been there, you've seen there's so many programs, so many activities, so much content, and it does take an army to do that. 2016, I'll go through the history in another slide, but again, we started in 2016 and with a small event, and we've grown into a larger event, which is amazing. So the overall TrailheaDX today, we are TDX 19. We're going to have about 14,000 developer admins, architects, which is a new group that we are inviting, as well as partners and Salesforce employees, come together, for an immersive, high-touch, high-end experience, learning experience. The difference between like Dreamforce, how many have been to Dreamforce? Okay. The difference between Dreamforce and TrailheaDX is that TrailheaDX, it's much smaller in scale. We don't have 140,000 people all over the city, and a lot of people at Dreamforce, a lot of content. So the way I look at it is Dreamforce is a buffet of things that you get, and you can pick and choose what you want. The nice thing about TrailheaDX is it's a smaller event. Although we're going to have 14,000 people, it's still smaller than Dreamforce. We have our product engineers, product managers, a lot of Salesforce experts in-house to basically meet with you on one-on-one basis. A lot of networking. The community will be there. MVPs, community leaders will be there so that they can spend time with a lot of our new trailblazers who are going to be there. We are going to be focusing on a few things. The customer success platform, looking from a developer's eyes. So many times you see the CSP, the clock diagram on slides and so on. You see it in the keynote, Mark talking about sharing that. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a developer angle to that and really drill down on that using a use case that's being put together right now by Christoph. We're going to have deep dive for new topics. MuleSoft is, we had a little presence of MuleSoft in the past, but we're going to have a larger presence of MuleSoft. We're bringing in other areas like Marketing Cloud, Commerce Cloud. We're going to have content on JavaScript too, because that's an important element, especially with the LWC launch that we just recently did. And again, as always, for the last couple of years, we have brought in the bootcamp. which is the TrailheaDX bootcamp into the event. So besides the 2-day conference, we're also going to have the 3-day bootcamp. And of course, we wouldn't do it without an amazing concert that will be put together. Values are very important for us at Salesforce. If you look at V2 Moms, if you look at a lot of things, you'll see, if you even look at the keynotes that Mark and others present, values are key. So the values for the event are learn, connect, have fun, and give back. And I'll drill down that to a little bit more on those. Learning, I mean, all of us know what learning is, but we are going to focus on app development. Really, that's what we're going to focus on, and really have in-depth, hands-on, besides talk, hands-on learning, hands-on workshops, hands-on quick starts, mini hacks, and so on to do that. Connect, of course, that's where you all come together and connect on, at the event with each other as well as with the Salesforce experts. Have fun, again, anything we do with fun. That's the way how we roll. And giving back, we're definitely going to have, besides the giving back opportunities we have, we're also going to, is it so good? Okay. We're also going to have an opportunity for you to volunteer, and especially if you're going there, you'll have an opportunity to volunteer and help out in other specific areas. We want to make sure that most of the Trailhead events that we run are going to be basically partnership with the community, so we're side by side. So besides TDX, Develop, Dreamforce, World Tours, and so on, we are partnershiping, so we're side by side helping the next new generation of people coming to our space. A little history, we started TDX 16. Mark Benioff came to us and said, hey, I want a DevCon and I want it in 8 weeks. And so we looked at him and said, sure, we'll do it. Anyways, we put together a develop conference. It was quick, but we made it happen. We had 1,500 attendees. Of course, since then we've grown to TDX 17 with an amazing theme. As you can see, the Zion theme, and we had 4,000 people, and we did global gatherings around that, and we had a give back element. And anyways, it was a great event. And then after that, we decided, hey, we need to really think globally, and let's go outside of the US. And so our VP Sarah Franklin was on her way to Kenya for a VTO, and she says, she actually, while the plane was flying, she was like, let's do a safari theme. So that's where that came from. And then finally, of course, we have TDX 19 this year, where we're going to have a Camp TDX theme. So TDX 19, May 29th and 30th, and Trailhead Bootcamp is 30th through the 2nd. If you haven't thought of going, I would definitely encourage you to go. It will definitely make an impact with respect to skilling up and going deeper on Salesforce. The theme, as I said, we're going to have a Camp TDX theme, camping theme with outdoor experiences. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a 2-day conference with lots of people, lots of content, 200+ sessions and hands-on workshops, open closing keynote. Something we've been doing in the last couple of events is super sessions. So the keynote will have key topics that we're going to cover. There are 4 different topics in the keynote, and what we're doing after the keynote is taking each topic and drilling deeper into that specific topic, and that's how we're mapping to super sessions. And for the bootcamp, we have 6 in-depth tracks, including the architects tracks. I think there's 1 or 2 architects tracks. And again, besides the training, we're also going to have certification exams so that you can walk out with being certified. So just shifting a little bit on the content side of the world for the event. As I mentioned, we are going to showcase an end-to-end use case for the customer 360, and we're going to do that from a developer perspective. So as you come into the space, you're going to be welcomed, and you'll get a complete picture of the customer 360. And then after that, we're going to you'll be able to go to the different activations to drill down on the specific product areas. So we'll, from Lightning Platform, Einstein, as I mentioned, we are adding MuleSoft to the activation, Trailhead, and a few other new activations that we'll have. We are using, last year we used the second floor for TrailheaDX. We are going to use 2 floors now. We are growing, we need more space, so we're going to have activations on 2 floors. And then we're going to have a lot of different programs that you may be familiar with. As I mentioned, from quick starts, mini hacks, kids coding, consultation, and so on. There are a few new things we're adding. Career Fair, that's a new program, and that's an opportunity for a lot of new folks to come in and be able to meet with Salesforce partners and be able to even there may be job opportunities especially for new people, and we are inviting students also so they can get a chance to meet with those companies. The Architect Lodge is another new program. The whole CTA, that's hot right now. Everyone wants to become a CTA, and so again, we are making sure that we have the team available for you to meet and learn more about that. I think we already touched on those, so I'll skip that. And then the areas, the topic areas for content on the sessions we'll focus on is Lightning Web Components. I think it's an important topic and a lot of people are interested in it. DX with web tools, MuleSoft on the integration side, Einstein, Architect, as I mentioned. And then there's a surprise topic that I will, you will have to find out when you come over there. That's being worked on, something new and cool, and you'll hear about it on site. And then super sessions, as I mentioned, breakout theaters, mini theaters, and so on. We are definitely increasing the number of hands-on sessions we have so that more people will be able to sit in. That's a challenge we had last year, so we made those adjustments. And then last but not least, there are some of you and others in the community that may not be able to come to TrailheaDX. That's just a reality. And so we want to make sure that we accommodate you, and we are going to have a global gathering program that we'll bring after TrailheaDX, and a lot of the community leaders have signed up for that. Cynthia, Daniel, have you signed up for the global gathering program or not yet?
Our global gathering will be at, since we're local.
That's right. Yes, that's right. You'll be at TDX. That's the place.
It's the same week as our meetup, so we'll probably have the meetup the week before.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, but there's many places around the world, that they just don't have the luxury to fly over and so we're making sure that we do that, and we're going to be on purpose here. We're going to make sure that there's a nice slice of the TDX content. Of course, not everything, but a nice small sampling size that they can get, so they can do some hands-on, they can get some talks, listen to maybe to the keynote, and then of course a post-event will make a lot of the session content available to everyone. Here's just the prices of the, not selling, just educating you on the opportunity you have to participate in at least in the 2-day conference. And if you look at Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, other conferences, the 2-day conference price is pretty good for what you'll get out of it. So I would definitely encourage you to attend. And with that, Kel.
That's me. Thanks everyone. Hope to see you all at TDX. I know I'll be there. Thanks for being. Thank you so much for having us on Team Trailhead. We're so excited. This is my first developer group meetup.
Make a recording.
Oh, my bad. I gotta be in front of the camera. How do I look? By the way, thanks for the dinner, Airbnb, for hosting us. This is actually green tea. It's not what you think. Great dinner. I was looking for water, couldn't find any, and I realized how to look on stage, so my bad. So my name is Kel. I've been with Salesforce for about 4 years now, and I'm super stoked to talk to you about my favorite product in the world, Trailhead and MyTrailhead. Raise your thumbs up if you've earned a badge on MyTrailhead. I'm sorry, on Trailhead. On Trailhead. Most of you, congrats to you all. And for those of you that might not be familiar with what Trailhead is, it's the fun way to learn, not just how to learn Salesforce skills, but we also have some awesome in-demand badges out there, whether you want to learn how to be a great sales manager, a developer, an admin, or you want to learn other technologies. We're constantly deploying new content on Trailhead for you to scale up on things that businesses want to hire for. So whether it's Google skills, you want to learn Slack, you want to learn GitHub, it's all on there, so check it out. So how many of you, with a thumbs up, have downloaded Trail Tracker? Thumbs up if you have downloaded Trail Tracker. Good, in a way, because I'm going to be here to talk to you about it. But you deserve a prize at the end, and you do too, because I think I saw another hand raise here. So come see me after this. So here's the deal, folks. Not only can you skill yourselves up with Trailhead today, it's free, and it's online. And you can take it from your mobile phone. I earned badges from my mobile phone. But you can scale up your teams, and you can see and track learning progress across your entire organization using Trail Tracker, and that's free, and it's on the App Exchange. But furthermore, you can also, if you don't want to overwhelm your teams and you just want them to take specific content that's relevant to your business, we got you covered. And you can do that through this thing called Trail Mixes. Trail Mixes enable you to put together a mix of your very favorite relevant content for your team and put it in the order that you want, and you can share it out with your team. Pretty cool, right? So maybe you're like, you know what, I really want my team to get better reports and dashboards because I'm really sick and tired of building everybody's reports. You can empower your team to go do the thing and empower them on how to use other technologies too. So you can do that today. This is all free, folks. It's pretty cool. We release content every 6 weeks, and we have over 500 badges. That's a ton of content and a great way to scale up your teams. But what happens if you want to take it the next step? You want to take it a step further? We have a lot of great content out there that's generic skills, but what if you need to customize that content that's unique to your business, your process, in your company, and your culture? What do you do? MyTrailhead, your Trailhead. Yeah, so MyTrailhead was a brand new launch product that went live in March. And it gives you the same power of Trailhead that's available today for free for anyone. But it's different. It's like Trailhead, but with superpowers, because you're going to get your own Trailhead instance with that same online, gamified, bite-sized type of learning platform. But you put your company's brand and your company's logo on it, and you publish your own content. on anything you want, on any topic. It doesn't have to be Salesforce related, it could be anything. But I know you're all thinking, you're like, I'm a developer. What does this got to do with me? Don't worry, I got your back. Your companies might buy this thing. And if they do, how are you going to help them? If they decide to buy it, if your company is like, I want to deploy this, you're going to be like, okay, well, how do I look like a superhero and make sure that this deployment we're going to get a really good return on this investment? I'm going to share with you how. So you're probably going to be working with other people that's going to create the content for you. And they're going to publish it. You're not going to be really part of that process. Admins will typically set up permissions for who's going to be able to publish content, right? But where admins and developers are going to get involved is automating. How many of you love automating things? Can I get a thumbs up? I don't see thumbs up over there. You guys don't love automating? Get off the stage. I'm just kidding. So, we all love automating, right? Well, I'm going to share with you just a couple of tips and tricks, just to get you thinking about the possibilities, just to scratch the surface just a little bit. I'm not going to give you a demo because I'm going to be sharing that for the big stage at TDX. We're going to be giving an awesome demo. We have a super special breakout session. I don't know the name of the session yet because we're still finalizing details, but we're going to talk all about how you can automate Trailhead and MyTrailhead, right? And use the power of the existing Salesforce platform. And it all starts with Trail Tracker. So Trail Tracker can be used with Trailhead or MyTrailhead. And really, this is like your entryway to get all of that rad user learning progress data into your Salesforce org. So people are earning badges, they're completing modules on Trailhead or MyTrailhead. How do you track that? How do you get that awesome insights into your Salesforce org? This is it. It's through this managed package. It's free today. You can download it now. Figure out who's already earning them badges. And it comes with pre-built reports and dashboards. We tried to take some of the thinking out for you and trying to simplify your life, because that's what we like to do at Salesforce. And you can customize this to your heart's content. It's your business, right? You're going to want to customize this. We highly encourage it. Great. You can find out who's blazing them trails. But you can do something bigger. Ooh, I said bigger, but the screen got smaller. That was funny. It's hard to see, but walk with me on this little journey. Imagine you've downloaded Trail Tracker, and maybe now with that rich data, now that you've got those custom objects in, and it's going to tell you like who's completed what and what badges out there exist on the platform. What if you want to take that data and you want to build a process that says, assign this specific learning or recommend this specific learning to this user with this specific role at this specific time? Like, you can build an onboarding journey that says, when a new learner has a sales profile, like the role or profile equals sales rep, and it's been 30 days, they get a welcome email. And that welcome email recommends a specific badge or a trail mix. 60 days later, something similar, like an anniversary post goes out to chatter. Maybe it copies their manager. Congratulations! We recommend you taking this next part of your learning journey, and so on. Or you can get real fancy, and you can do the same thing, but based on any Salesforce fields. When a learner creates a new opportunity for the first time, or closes their first case, or escalates their first case, or changes the priority on the case. So you can get real fancy. We don't have slides, but you know what? We don't need them. What else can you do with that? So we're gonna, is it working now?
Left one up there is.
How do I do that? What button do I press?
You can't see on your screen.
Oh, it's working, yay! Okay, that made it a lot easier. So you can also set up automated communications. So right, you can have this welcome email, getting people super jazzed and excited. You can use email templates. I'm gonna go back. This was Process Builder, by the way. Have any of you used Process Builder? Thumbs up? Okay, some of you have. It's a really easy point-and-click tool for you to automate things based on any Salesforce fields, and it does some validation. It's pretty neat. And this is an example of an email template. You don't need Marketing Cloud to automate emails and do one-on-one journeys. You can do that as an admin or a developer. You can totally set that up. You can kick off a process. You can use Process Builder along with email templates and send a really cool email to users pointing them to specific learning. What else can you do? Well, imagine if learning happened in the app. Imagine, for instance, a sales rep creates their very first opportunity. They're brand new, they're excited, but they're not really sure what to do to be successful at your organization. That's okay. You got them covered because you can create a lightning component that shows up at the right time in the right place in Salesforce. So on the opportunity record itself, you can create that component that recommends new learning. That's relevant to the process at hand. Pretty cool, right? Or you can even take it a step further. Maybe you assign learning that's due at a specific due date. You can have login flows that remind the learner when they log into Salesforce that say, hey, wait, before you continue, you've got this learning that's overdue. That's going to help increase adoption of that learning. The reason I want to seed and plant these ideas is if someone comes to you and taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, we're deploying MyTrailhead, what can we do to kind of increase learner engagement and automate our lives away? Because a lot of people that you work with probably don't want to be sitting there creating manual emails all the time and having manual processes. They're going to be looking for ways to scale, because this is a platform to scale learning. These are just some ways that you can use the power of the platform to make that happen. So I'm going to leave you with two things to think about and for you to continue your journey if you want to learn more. There's 2 trail mixes. This is a mix of content that's on Trailhead that you can learn. If you're interested on how you can use Trailhead today for free at your company to skill up learners on a lot of the skills out there that we've already developed content on, again, this is completely free. Take that first trail mix to start using Trailhead today. And if you want to take it a step further and you're like, yeah, I got that, but I really need to publish content and I want to publish my own custom branded content on my own Trailhead instance, that second trail mix will give you a little bit more idea of what my Trailhead is all about and how it works. Cool? Yeah? All right. Well, that's all I had to share with you today. We will be covering Q&A in just a few minutes, but I'd love to bring up my friend and colleague, Mr. Mac. Come on. Talk to us about certs.
What are you reading the fun facts? What are these fun facts? So hi everyone, I'm McConnachie. I have been at Salesforce for just coming up to 8 years. Always been associated with the certification program. So happy to share with you some of the activities that we're actually doing from a certification perspective. For those of you that don't know, our certification program has grown tremendously over the last 8 to 10 years. There are even more opportunities now that we're combined with Trailhead. The actual growth that we've seen because of Trailhead enabling people to get ready for their certifications is huge. So I'll cover that. I'll also cover the pathway, how we get credentialed. And when you're certified, now what should you do? How many people in the audience are actually certified? Oh, I have swag for certified people. How many people want to be certified? Okay. How many people aren't certified that want to be certified, that really want to go that first step? How about how many of you have had super badges? Ooh, a few. Okay, so that's awesome. If during today or the next day or over the next few days you have questions that you want to ask of me and the certification team, just post them into the Trailblazer community. We will answer them. It's the best place to connect back to us. We need more developers. We do not have enough developers in our ecosystem. So if you have ideas about what we can do from a credentialing point of view, a different certification, a different credential, a different way of bringing people up to speed, I would love to hear from you. So please reach out to us within the program. We'd love to hear. For those of you that don't know, these are all of our certification tracks. Now, I know you've already seen the forward-looking statement, because I've seen it at least twice. You can actually see here in red some of our forward-looking or recent additions to our certifications. So in the developer space, we've been working on for a little while now a new certification in the developer space. I'm glad that we talked about Einstein earlier on, because we actually launched our Einstein Consultant exam about a month ago. We've got 2 super badges associated with Einstein as well. They were launched at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And we also have launched just 2 weeks ago the Education Cloud Consultant specifically for people in that space. So we have today 28 different certifications in total in different tracks. And we have these credentials, which we call super badges, to show your skills. It really is that ability for you to go into an org and actually prove that you have the skills to be able to act as if you were using Salesforce in its native environment. So we have today 14 super badges. Forward-looking statement, I want to try and build another 12 this year. Kind of aggressive, but that's what we want to do. Some of them in the developer space, some of them in the admin space. So keep an eye out and follow us through our social media to find out when we launch these. What's interesting is seeing that growth. So this is, without numbers, how our certifications have grown in the past 10 years. Over the past 3 years, we actually doubled what we've done in the previous 6 or 7 years. What's more interesting is the exponential growth the super badges have actually given to us. Our super badge growth is actually going a lot faster, and it really is helping people to be enabled to prepare for their certifications. So that's why we want to do more of these hands-on, scenario-based credentials in the future. How many people have completed sets of super badges? Do you know what how many people know what a set of super badges are? I would be surprised if many people put their hands up. But for example, in our developer space, actually I'll show you in a couple of seconds. This is our credential landscape, for example, in that developer space. So here on the right-hand side is the more traditional role-based credentials, the certifications that we have for PD1, Platform Developer 1, and Platform Developer 2. So for Platform Developer 1, there are 3 associated super badges, which are those domain skills that we want people to really learn in depth as part of that certification. For Platform Developer 2, when you add them all together, there are actually 5 super badges. So I would encourage you all to go out there and actually take some of these super badges to prove to yourself that you actually have those domain skills as well. And taking that deep dive into the first 2 of those, which is Apex Specialist and the Lightning Experience Rollout Specialist, I'm trying desperately not to put my reading glasses on here, you can actually see for each one of these there is a set of learning to unlock that super badge. So this is where you get that in-depth from beginning to end, the knowledge, the learning, all the way through to unlock the super badge and then prove that you have those domain expertise on your way to those certifications. And then you can see here at a high level for all of our certifications that have super badges how they all align. So we really want to encourage people to complete these sets of super badges in each of these particular certification tracks. It's a really good experience that we're actually finding people are getting to learn to know a lot more about the product in addition to taking the exam. It really gives you that opportunity to go into the Trailhead playground and prove that you have the skills. And you mentioned trail mixers. Thank you for mentioning trail mixers. Where we have a lot of our certifications, we have a trail mix too. We have a Salesforce Trail Mix to help you on that journey. So you can actually see here on the right-hand side, we actually show you what the exam is at the top. We actually then start to go through each of the exam sections, tell you how the exam is weighted, so you know where to spend your time. And so you can see as you're preparing for the certifications how well you are actually prepared. We are, forward-looking statement, trying to work on some additional ways of helping you prepare for certifications. We have today an admin practice exam. I would love to have a practice exam for PD1. I would love to have a Salesforce practice exam for PD2. So that's something that I want to work on this year as well. So a little bit forward-looking there. And we also mentioned on the way through this the architecture. People that are in the developer space, this is the journey to our architect program. And as Kavindra mentioned, this is really a big part of our TDX part of the event, where we'll actually help people through that journey. You'll see here that Platform Developer 1 is actually on both our application architect and our system architect side. So you can see all of the certifications that you need to prepare for your road to either application architect, system architect, or indeed the actual technical architect at the very top of our program. Okay, so you're all certified, which is great. Now you should go out there and evangelize, not only for yourself. This picture is actually of Jean Polonis. Jean used to be an MVP outside of Salesforce. She actually joined my team, I'm lucky to say, about 2-3 months ago. She's now helping me develop more admin credentials. So the same with you. Go out there and evangelize, help others get their certifications, and help them grow your own certification programs and maintain them. One quiz question at the end, which I won't answer to now, is how many times a year, if you're a developer, do you have to maintain your certification? And we'll answer that. There's lots of people that know the answer to that question, which is great. And actually, we just finished our last cycle, which was last Friday, for people to have maintained by the end of the last cycle. As I said earlier on, we need to help create more developers. So I really want to find out what we can do together. So please reach out to us through our social media and tell us what we think we can do differently. I would also say our certification exam becoming much more popular out there. I see quite often, unfortunately, people are sharing what they believe is the exam questions in the marketplace, which is always a bad thing for our certification program. If you see something ever like that, where it looks like people are selling or sharing certification answers, there's a way through the Trailhead website to actually report that to us, so we can actually do something about it and get this information taken down. So I ask your help for that when you see that sort of information. And finally, I think this is finally, join us at the certification day events. We have certification events at most of our world tours. We definitely have them at TDX. We have them in cities around the world to help you prepare for your certification and actually take the certification as well. So please look out. There's enough of them in San Francisco, so I think the San Francisco developer user group are well covered. But please come and join us and tell us. Finally, open up to any questions for the three of us. Hope that was useful.
I have a question about the certification day at TDX. But if I'm not paying that $3,400 to go to the bootcamp, can I still take the certification?
So basically the two passes you have, the pass which is the 2-day pass that does not include bootcamp element, and then you have the 5-day which we call the ultimate pass. That's 5 days, and that's the $3,400 plus that. Part of the boot camp, which is the last 3 days, is the certification. So you would have to basically get the ultimate pass, get the 5-day experience, and that includes certification. The one thing is we are doing is if you sign up, if you register for the TDX conference event, we're giving that includes 2 vouchers. Like what we did last year, so that's the benefit you have to sign up and register.
I have a question for you about MyTrailhead. Is that designed to replace traditional LMS that some of your client content?
You get 5 gold stars for asking me the hardest question. So MyTrailhead is not an LMS. LMS. It is not a learning management system. Learning management systems, the best way for me to describe what an LMS is LMSs have a capital M and focuses on the manager. And MyTrailhead is, instead of it being top down, like an LMS, it's really built from the bottom up and focused on the learner and their unique needs. So if you think about what a learner needs compared to a manager, managers like they want to track compliance, they need a way to push down the learning and make sure that everybody's completed the learning. Very much check the box, so think compliance, think reporting, and really where MyTrailhead sits in the marketplace, it's a learning experience platform. And so meeting the needs of the learner means gamification, it means fun, bite-sized content that's engaging and accessible for employees on the go from their mobile devices. And they also, when they earn badges, they earn points for getting quizzes right the first time, more points when they get it right the first time. And they earn ranks. They unlock ranks from getting points and badges as they progress through their learning career. And what's awesome is learners have a unified profile. Unified profile means if they earn public badges on Trailhead, or they earn private badges on MyTrailhead, it's all in one place, and they take with them that learning progress wherever they go. Of course, the company-specific private badges will drop when you move to a new company, but the public stuff stays with them forever, so they can show off their personalized brand with their earned and proven skills. I can go on a tangent. If you want to talk more about it, I'm happy to chat with you after.
Somebody mentioned, there was a slide that mentioned something about security, something new at TrailheaDX this year.
Have you been to Dreamforce before, last year? So at Dreamforce, we had a security activation area. I don't know if you remember or not. So what TrailheaDX last year did not have a security area. So you'll have the secure Salesforce security experts come and they will basically provide content, drill down into your questions, and help you educate you through your opportunity. So that's what I meant.
Any more questions?
Does nobody else raise their hand? So the CTA review board, can you shed any light on that selection of who gets scheduled for board reviews, OPs? I'm not speaking from personal experience, just broadly feedback.
So I know the review boards are set in advance, and they're done by our Trailhead Academy team. I don't know how full the actual review board is. I know they hold them globally. I can probably find out more information, and then you can connect with me after this, and I'll find out if it is managed by our Trailhead Academy. But thank you for being interested. It's the pinnacle of what we do. Yeah.
So with the number of Salesforce certifications increasing, is there any thought to like what it means to keep adding more? Like it waters down the meaning of having a Salesforce certification. Like I know I have like 12 or something. Hey, you know.
Too excited. So it's a great question. So one of the things that I constantly do is look at the relevancy to our exam. I potentially might say that in some areas we have exams that really don't drive. I really want to make sure that our exams are driving jobs that people need out in the Salesforce ecosystem. The goal for me is not to drive more certifications, it's to drive people to jobs. So my focus all the time for this year is how I get more people with a job, rather than necessarily have the same people with more certifications. That's my focus for this year. And in fact, for the very first time, we're actually starting to retire some of the certifications for exactly that reason. The main exams, though, which are driving jobs at the moment, which are admin and builder and developer, we will continue to strengthen those moving forward, and we will look at to see if there are derivatives that can help people on that journey as they become certified for the first time. You're absolutely spot on. We're doing my job actually, because that's what we do. We look at that sort of things correctly.
I'm going to add something even though I probably don't have the clout to say something. You mentioned something about potentially watering it down and having more certified. The way I look at it is, it's predicted that there will be 3 million new jobs added to the economy because of Salesforce, that require Salesforce skills. Over 800 billion in GDP. That's huge. This is a huge opportunity for every single one of us that sits in this room. And we don't have enough people, especially developers, to fill that gap. There is a major gap out here. And if you don't fill it, what does that mean? It means businesses can't run efficiently. They need the requisite skills, so we have to solve that skills gap. And one way of doing that is to get more certified people, to make sure everyone in the world gets learning for free. That's why we do what we do. So, on a soapbox, I'm going to
Do that too. More in trouble. So one thing, it's a great question, by the way. You definitely but what I wanted to point out is earlier I showed you the CSP slide. I showed the CSP with a large portfolio of products we have, and that's growing. And so the richer the Salesforce portfolio gets with all the different products, guess what? The more skilled people we need to afford that. And so we definitely need to increase certification on the specific different product areas, and because we'll have quite a few groups of people with different roles in the Salesforce ecosystem. So that's, definitely the need for more unique ones based on the portfolio we have.